Good morning, everyone. It's Stephen Whiteside here from theuptrend.com with your morning market outlook for Tuesday, April 21st, 2026. Well, in the pre-market this morning, we do have crude oil down ever so slightly. We also have gold down in the pre-market on Tuesday morning, so that might not help the Canadian market to continue to move higher on Tuesday. Now, the Dow's up nearly 300 points. That has a lot to do with United Healthcare, which has come out with earnings and is popping in the pre-market. I guess we look for the top of that open gap over from January as a potential target today. Now, we do have some economic numbers coming out, just one set in the pre-market, and that's retail sales, vehicle sales. That's coming out at 8:30. Now, with all the market manipulation and insider trading that's going on right now, I can't help think about poor Martha Stewart. She went to jail for far less than what people are doing today. But white collar crime isn't really a crime anymore in this administration. So, nobody's being investigated. Nothing's going to happen to anybody who's been involved in all this. And since it's helping the stock market to make new all time highs, nobody really cares at the moment. Now, yesterday we did see a pop in crude oil, still on a sell signal here, still trading below the lower channel line. And we had a small move up for energy stocks on both sides of the border, so no change there. Now, looking at the VIX actually moved up yesterday. No change in trend for the VIX for the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, or the Russell 2000. We're keeping a close eye on that. Looking at the major index ETFs, it was an inside day for most of them, so a day of indecision for the market on Monday. There's the iShares for the TSX 60, the Vanguard Canada ETF. Stocks trading outside of Canada were down a little more yesterday, but no major breakdown just yet. Just looks like they want to fill that gap. Then we've got Canadian financials having an inside day. The gold sector pulled back yesterday, but not by much. Still on a buy signal here. And then we had the tech sector moving up slightly and still trying to get to $75. That's a major area of resistance for the Canadian tech sector. Looking at the Vanguard Total Market ETF in the U.S., inside day for the Dow, inside day for the S&P 500. We dipped below the previous day's low for the NASDAQ. Before moving up by the end of the day. There is U.S. financials, almost an inside day there, little tick under the previous day's low. We're trying to break out above 53.13. If we can do that, then 54.69 comes into play. Looking at semiconductors, they had an outside day yesterday and closed slightly lower, just by 20 cents. So no major move for semiconductors on Monday. Looking at the most actively traded Canadian stocks, it was an inside day for Canadian natural resources. BlackBerry continues to shoot higher, and if we go back a week, this is back to the 13th of April. You can see that if we broke out above 547, I would have said that opens up the next playing field, which is the next two lines up to 625. We move ahead a couple of days and we're up to the 16th of April. And we broke through and closed above 625. And I would have told you at that time that that opens up to 703. We have a new playing field. We move up two lines and look to see if we can do that. Now, we have expanded the playing field here. So previously 703 and then 742, 781. Now, the price targets have expanded to accommodate the new volatility here. And so yesterday we did close right above the 742 level. We closed at 750. And so that opens up to 820 and 898. We haven't completely broken away from the 742 level, as you can see, but here we are trading above it right now. So you have to look up two lines, and that's the next area that we're looking at. Now, if you're, trading any of these stocks, you want to keep track of not only the daily targets, but the weekly targets. And you can see that above 703, the next target was 781. And where did we close yesterday? We closed at 750. High of the day was 779. So we got pretty close to that 781 level. And this weekly chart, of course, was published last Friday, and it has not been updated. And you don't have to update weekly charts until the end of the week because, of course, we're just really worried about the closing price. Looking at Enbridge, no change there, down slightly on the day. Then we're looking at the Royal Bank, and the Royal Bank was up on the day. And next target to the upside is 250, and that is certainly a big number for the Royal Bank. Next up, we're looking at TC Energy. It was up slightly on the day, just by 11 cents. Then we're looking at Whitecap Resources. It was also up on the day, up 20 cents. No change in trend there. Baytech traded right up into the channel, so a close above 590 on Tuesday would give us a buy signal. Here's Rupert Resources popping. It's being taken over by Agnico Eagle, so congratulations to anyone long that stock. Then we've got Cenovus, no change there. And no change for TELUS. We're looking for a close above 1720 on Tuesday to give us a buy signal. And there's ARC Resources, no change for ARC Resources on Monday. Let's finish off looking at some of the U.S. most actives from Monday's trading action. I've been watching NVIDIA closely. It's still hanging around the $200 level, closed above it once again on Monday. We're still projecting higher prices here for NVIDIA, and you can see we're not far away from that high that we made back in October. Looking at Plug Power, it was up over 15% yesterday, hit our next price target of 313, so congratulations. Next target to the upside, 352. Then looking at Intel or government chips, it was actually down on the day yesterday, struggling to get above 68.75. That was also a weekly target, and if we can break out above that, then $75 does come into play on both the daily and weekly price target charts. Ondas still on a sell signal, no change there. Nokia making a new high right now, and it is coming up to the top of our projected trading range. Next target to the upside is 1094. Looking at the Nokia panic zone chart, you can see the last low risk buying opportunity was down here. Now we're seeing panic buying, and of course you don't want to jump in at these levels and try to chase this stock at this time. This is not the time and place to look for buying opportunities. This is where you look for selling opportunities. Looking at Hims and Hers, we moved up yesterday, so we've broken out above the March highs, and our next target to the upside above the 31.25 level, which we hit yesterday, got as high as 31.85. So if you had an order in up there, congratulations, it got filled. Cha-ching, 37.50 would be our next target to the upside if we can break out above 31.25. Okay, folks, that is all for this morning's presentation. So far, it looks like we want to do some buying at the open on Tuesday morning. Have a great day. Next time you'll hear my voice is on Wednesday morning.
Thanks for tuning in until the very end of today's stock market timing educational video. If you found the content valuable, don't forget to express your support by hitting the like button, leave a comment, sharing with your friends, and subscribing to our channel for more insightful updates. Remember, in the world of stocks, timing is crucial, and following the trend can be your greatest ally. If you would like more information on how we can help you better time the stock market, please visit theyuptrend.com.